Hello friends, I am Narendra Verma, and as we are dealing with the series Nature and Significance of Management Chapter 1 in Business Studies of Class 12 CBSE Syllabus. So today I am here with you with the another topic, that is levels of management and levels and functions of management. Today we are going to cover both these, right? So now let's start our topic with levels of management. Very first we need to understand what is the meaning of levels of management. Okay, I explain. You'll have to focus. See what happens in an organization. There are various employees are working, and as the size of the organization increases, you need various people to manage them as well. A single person cannot manage thousands of people or hundreds of people. Maybe possible he can manage only tens of people or 20, 50 or 100. Fine. So in that case, to run the management successfully, the company has to think about the levels of management. How? Some out of the various employees, some who are having distinct qualification or experiences, they are put at some different positions on which they have to act as a manager, right? Okay, but this is not the a single floor of management. In any organization we generally find three floors of management, okay, or we what better call them levels of management. Okay, so which goes from top to bottom, and this flooring, these levels, these develops superior and subordinate relationship, right? And this superior and subordinate relationship chain is known as hierarchy of management or levels of management, right? So what is the level of management? The hierarchy of management in which the managements are performing their function from top to bottom. Okay, now we need to understand how many levels of management are there. So like I told you, generally in an organization we find three levels of management. These are the three levels of management in an organization. Okay, now we need to understand how these three levels of management work in an organization and what specific functions they need to perform. What are the authority and responsibility borne by these people, and what positions come under these level of management. Okay, so yeah, one important thing I would like to highlight here, this lower level management is also known as supervisory or operational level of management. Okay, so if in question supervisory level of management is given or operational level of management is given, it means you need to understand they're talking about lower level of management. Okay, now we need to understand these level of management in detail, but like I told you, this works from top to bottom, means at the highest point top level management would be there, then just immediate to them you will find middle level management, and after that at the lowest level of management you will find the lower level management. That's why it is called lower level, and it is very easy to remember that top means high, middle means in between, and lower means at the lowest, right? So it's very easy to understand that and remember as well. Now we need to understand these in detail. Very first we'll talk about top level management. Now, top level management consists of the senior executives of the organization who are responsible for the welfare of the organization, welfare of the society, and the most important one, survival of an organization. So they need to make policies and take very critical or sophisticated decisions in which a lot of mind mapping and mental exercise is needed, and lot of experience is needed. That is why this position is given to the senior most executive in the organization. One more thing I would like to add here: may be possible that in an organization owner himself is at the top level of management, but it is not always necessary. In many organizations you see that the owners are separate and they have given the work of management to somebody else. Okay, generally what are the examples of top level management? What are the positions? The positions are generally CEO, you must have heard about it, Chief Executive Officer. Okay, CFO, Chief Finance Officer, President, Vice President, MD means Managing Director, Board of Directors, General Manager, etc. These are the positions which are very popularly known in the organization. Okay, now let's move on to the meaning of the another management. Very first I am explaining the meaning, right? Later on I'll come on to the functions, various functions, specific functions of these. Okay, now we need to understand the meaning of middle level management. Middle level management consists of you can say divisional heads or departmental heads. Okay, and these are mainly responsible for operations of the activities. Fine, these are also known as operations managers. Fine, and the positions in this level of management are held like uh, plant superintendent. Okay, or you can take the example of purchase manager, assistant manager, senior manager. Okay, and human resource manager, marketing manager. As many departments are there in the organization, you will find those many managers over there. The important this is important. Why? Because this works as a link between top level management and lower level of management, right? Because they are subordinate to top level management and they are superior for lower level of management. So they have to be very cautious because they have to maintain balance between the two. Whatever the instructions are given from the top level management, they have to communicate to the lower level management. That is why the work of these managers have very much importance. Fine. Now let's move on to another level of management. So lower level management means the management which is at the lowest in the hierarchy of management. Very first we need to understand, as the name itself suggests. Okay, and they are having direct contact with the workers or non-managerial workforce of the organization, and that is why their role becomes very much important, because they have to maintain discipline among them, they have to maintain loyalty among them, and they have to actually get the production process completed by the workforce. So that is why their role becomes very much important. They need to give instructions, they need to supervise, they need to control. Okay, top level management makes policies, they communicate it to middle level management, and middle level management interpret these policies to lower level management, and lower level management makes these policies in implementations, right? So that is why the role of lower level management is again most important one. Fine, now let's talk about what are the positions held. These positions are often known as supervisors, okay, or section officers or superintendent only, and various names can be given to these people. Fine, otherwise so often these are known by either by supervisor or by a foreman. Fine. So after knowing the meaning of these levels of management, we need to focus on the specific functions performed by these level of management, because in exams what happens, so many case studies come related to that area as well. Okay, so now we can see the various functions of these top level, middle level and lower level of management. Okay, so I read out: arrange resources. Very first we're talking about top level management. Arrange resources of man, machines, materials and money to achieve the desired goals. Means top level management, as I told you, that they are responsible for the survival of the organization. they need to arrange whatever is required in the organization. If that thing is not available, then they have to make it available from different sources. So they are actually responsible for arranging resources of man, machines, materials and money to achieve the desired goals, right? The another function of this top level management is to analyze the business environment and its implications for the survival of the firm. Means, like we have already discussed, that an organization is affected by the various factors working in the business environment, like political factors, social factors, economical factors, legal factors. So top level management have to have the information about these various factors, and they need to analyze whether these factors are working there for the organization as an opportunity or they may be proved as threats. This topic will be connected in the another chapter, that is business environment. I'll explain you in detail there. Okay, so they have to be cautious about it, because only then they can survive with their organization. Otherwise, it will be very much problematic for them. So they analyze the business environment and its implication for the survival of the firm. Another important function of there is to coordinate the activities of different departments according to the overall objectives. Okay, because they are going to frame overall objectives on the basis of their planning, and that overall objective is divided into different sections among the different departments, and various departments are given their separate goals. So their departments, the particular departments are working for their particular goal, and by combining all these goals, the overall objective of the organization is achieved. But for combining, integrating, the coordination is needed. So the coordination has to take place among all the activities of the department. So that function is also exercised by top level management. Another function of the top level management is the last function, to formulate overall goals and strategies for their achievement. Means they are the only ones who make policies, who set goals, overall goal, vision, mission we're talking about. Okay, they are actually responsible for that, because they see the vision, where they want to take company, to which height, from where they have started and to which height, and why they are working. So just according to that, they set their overall objectives, and according to that, the entire organization starts working. Okay, so these were the 4 functions of the top level management. Now let's talk about middle level management. Middle level management, the very first function has to cooperate with other departments for smooth functioning of the organization. Because like I told you that they are the divisional heads or departmental heads. Say for example, there are 3 departments in an organization. One is human resource department, another is finance department, and the another one is production department. So these 3 have to cooperate with each other, because for if we are talking about production manager needs money, and for that finance department has to be contacted. And another we talked about human resource. Okay, so for production we need people, we need human resource, so that's why HR department has to be contacted. So they have to cooperate with each other, right? So the middle level management is cooperate with other departments for smooth functioning of the organization. Another function of the middle level management is to ensure availability of necessary staff. Okay, this is again important one, because if we talk about human resource management, what happens? Human resource management, or we call it human resource department. Human resource department is there in the big organization. But if the organization is not so big, so human resource management job is also done by the other managers. Say for example, there are only 2 middle level management in an organization, that is finance and another is operational manager. Okay, so in that case what happens, that operation manager has to do these functions of arranging the staff as well. Otherwise separate department is there, then also these are the functions of that hierarchy of the management. Understood? Okay, now let's talk about third one, to interpret policies framed by top level management. Like I told you, in top level management they are responsible for framing policies, making rules, regulations, and setting overall objectives, right? So whatever policies they have framed, middle level management have to interpret. Means in actual, what is the meaning of that? only then they can communicate this information to the required group. Like I told you that this is a link between superior and subordinate, means top level management and lower level management. So whatever information they get from the top level management, they have to interpret, means understand, only then they can communicate. So very first they have to understand that what is the meaning of particular policy and rules, etc. Now let's talk about motivate the workers to achieve desired objectives. Okay, they have to make incentive plans, they have to motivate their workforce. Fine, they have to make different kind of schemes so that their employees remain motivated and they keep on working for the achievement of the desired objectives. So they have to focus on that as well. Okay, now let's talk about to assign duties and responsibilities to the workforce. So say for example, there are various supervisors in an organization. So various supervisors are assigned duties and responsibilities by the middle level management. Okay, so that is also their job. Okay, now let's talk about, it was all about middle level management. Now we are moving to lower level management. Lower level management is having the first function, that is to represent workers' grievances to middle level management. We need to understand here what is the meaning of grievances. Grievances means sometimes what happens when an employee starts working, he gets dissatisfied with the policy of the organization, or he himself is finding some problem. So that, because problem may be there with anyone, but it has to be tackled. Solution should be given at the right point of time. Otherwise, the small problems sometimes take a huge form and become a critical problem for the entire organization, right? So in that case, what happens? As I told you that lower level management is having direct contact with the workers. So if the worker is having any problem, any dissatisfaction, or we call it grievances, then they have, very first they need to talk to the workers. If they themselves can solve it, it's well and good. And if it is not in his judicial power, then what happens? They have to represent their case to middle level management so that the solution can come out, right? Now, because lower level management has to play two roles, one as a representative of the workforce and another as the representative of the middle and top level management, right? Okay, now another function, to ensure safe and proper working environment to workers. That is also the responsibility of the lower level manager, that he has to ensure safety and proper working conditions wherever the workers are working. Okay, if there is a lot of dirt, if they are unable to have proper breathing, then definitely they are not going to survive in that organization. And they may fall sick and their organization becomes responsible for that. So that is why this responsibility is headed by the supervisor, okay, in most of the organization.